Okay, we're going to be talking about simv with pressure support. In simv, you can have two different types of breaths. You can have a mechanical breath, which is patient triggered, patient effort, and you can have spontaneous breaths as well in between each of the mechanical breaths. On the mechanical breath, there is a set tidal volume that the patient will deliver on each mechanical or patient triggered breath, which we have set at 550 mLs. On the spontaneous breath, at that point the patient can actually determine their own tidal volume. Here we have a frequency set at 14 breaths per minute. That means the patient will receive 14 breaths, but they will be allowed to have spontaneous breaths in between. Here we also have our pressure support, which is set at 10 centimeters of water pressure. Our pressure support is used to overcome the work of breathing, and it can be set at 10 to start off with and titrated from there, depending on how the patient is doing. And we can also switch over to pressure. As well. And with pressure, our breaths will be set at, will be pressure limited. So here it is set at 15 centimeters of water pressure. Our I time, which is also set in pressure control, is at 1 second. Our pressure support will stay at 10 centimeters of water pressure. Our trigger, which is our V-sens as well, our E-sensitivity, that our trigger is actually our change from E to I. This is where you want the ventilator to be set to actually sense the patient's effort to trigger a breath. Flow trigger is a sensitivity that's being set with the breath. Let's see, flow trigger. We'll go to the FiO2 here. FiO2 set at 51%. That is the percentage of oxygen that's being delivered during the mechanical breath or spontaneous breath. Our rise time, we have it set at 50%. And with our rise time, it's used to control the initial flow or the blast of air coming out with the breath. We don't want to overshoot on that, the flow coming out to the patient. If you set a low rise time, it'll take longer for it to reach the set pressure, and vice versa if you're setting a high rise time. The rise time also helps with more soak time under the curve. You can adjust your rise time accordingly with your pressure volume loop, so that'll help as well. And then we have the E-sensitivity, and E-sensitivity we have set at 25%. It can be set anywhere from 5 to 80%. It is the percentage of peak inspiratory flow needed to terminate an inspiration or initiate exhalation. The higher the E-sensitivity is set, the decrease in I time, and the lower the E-sensitivity is set, the higher their increase in rise in I time. It can also be used for ventilator desynchrony. PEEP we have set at 5 centimeters of water pressure, and PEEP is used for recruitable surface area. Its purpose is also for FRC and also to maintain alveolar stability. So in simv with pressure support, you want to have the the square. This is what you see here on there with the pressure support. But we also like to use the ramp, which is preferred, which is the decelerating flow, which actually will help the distribution of tidal volume. Alright, thank you very much.